ask you, what have you been listening for in this conversation?
I thought I would like you, but I really like you.
Thank you. You're listening to a special episode of The Final Say, Conversations with People Facing Death. I'm Debra Jarvis, and I've never done a special episode before, but I've never been so rattled by the death of a guest. So this episode is mostly me talking with some clips of my guest. Now, some guests I've known well, and some I've known a bit. Most I've never met before. And then there's one I've never met, but we connected like old friends. And that was Dr. Mark Goulston, who was in the last episode.
We never met.
Right.
I'll tell you, right from the get-go, I meant it when I said, I really like you.
Mark was getting his bone marrow transplant at Cedars-Sinai down in Southern California, and I told him that I had worked at the equally famous Fred Hutch Cancer Center here in Seattle.
But if I knew you at Fred Hutch, I would have gone up there.
I could go see you. It would be easy. It'd be a cinch. But at least we're on the same coast, which I think is a huge deal. You know,
That's great. Yeah.
you can call me anytime because like I'm on your time. All right. It's hard for me to hang up. Gosh.
We will be in touch because of what you're doing, where you've worked. We're going to stay in touch.
Okay, good.
Okay, my friend, to be continued.
All right. So there it is right there, to be continued. And I believed it. Now, I know the rules. I've been doing this a while, and the rules are every guest I have on is facing impending death. I know that. And yet, I finished Mark Goulston's episode, and I decided it would be fun to wait and post it until New Year's Eve, the very last day of 2023. And he had gone in for his bone marrow transplant, I don't know, maybe a week before, and we'd been texting back and forth. And so on New Year's Eve, I dropped his episode, and then I texted him and said, here's a link to your episode. Congratulations. A couple hours go by, and then I receive a text from him. But it's not from him. And it says, thank you so much for your messages. This is Billy Goulston, Mark's son. Sadly, my dad passed away yesterday due to an unexpected infection during his recovery from his bone marrow transplant. I am so sorry I have to tell you this, and to do so on New Year's Eve. But I know my dad cared deeply about his connection with you and would have wanted you to know. Though we do not know much more than the above, if you have any questions, my mom and I can be reached. Warmest regards, Billy. Wait, what? We were just texting a couple days ago. Now I knew the statistics for bone marrow transplant for a man of 75. I knew that they weren't good, and I've worked in oncology long enough to know that things happen. And yet...
We'll continue the party.
Okay, all right. So, I'll talk to you soon.
I look forward to it. Take care.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. I couldn't put my finger on why I was so devastated by this news, and I think it was because of this promise of future friendship that I'd really never had with any of my guests. But isn't that the same promise we have with all of our friends and family, when the truth is that all we really have is right now? So I'm making this special episode as perhaps a reminder, not only to myself, but to all of us, that life is precarious and we can't waste a moment not forgiving someone or not telling them that we love them. Don't put off writing that thank you note or making that call or thinking that you'll always have later, because really, we can't be certain that there will be a later. This is Debra Jarvis, and you've been listening to a special mini episode of The Final Say, Conversations with People Facing Death. This podcast is hosted and produced by me, Debra Jarvis, and thanks always to Blue Dot Sessions for their music. Please feel free to subscribe and follow and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. And may you find beauty and joy in your day today.
I just got to tell you, win, lose, or die, I'm good to go.